Okay, this is how we set a job up for an import. So we start off with File, New, or it'll be File New from Template if you've already made one of these and saved it. Alright, but we'll just do it New, and you'll be able to see, it's just starting from the start. Okay. Okay, so there's our job. It's going to be a single-sided job, and we put in our sheet size. So we want 2440, and then 20. We're going to be using 18mm thick material. We're going to be working off the machine bed because it's going to be a cabinet import. We don't want to go any further than the machine bed. So we've got bottom left to match our import that we've done in polyboard, and press OK. That's our job setup. So we've got our sheet size showing on the screen. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use, if we use File, Import, right, Import Vectors, it'll only allow us to pick one set of vectors to bring in. So what we do instead, we use Gadgets, okay, and DXF Batch Processor. Okay, so what we do now is choose the file. I'm going to bring this in from, let's have a look, it's on the desktop in my G-code folder. So let's have a look. Desktop, G-code, G-code, and it's that one there. So that's the file I'm going to bring in. And we want to process the subdirectories. We can put the amount of drawings we want on a row. And I always set that to 6, just so we've got 6 across. And we need to put in the gap of the drawings in X and Y. This will be our space in between each part. If we make it too narrow, like at the moment, don't take any notice where it says inches here. All right, the gadget shows in inches, but it is actually in units. So if we're working in millimeters, it'll be okay. And I'm going to use an 8mm bit, so I'm going to put in a 10 by 10. So that'll be our clearance around each part when it comes in. The drawing thickness, don't worry about that. We're going to be using millimeters, bottom left for the drawing, and Z origin on the material base. So we click OK. And that should bring in a few seconds. There you are. There's our drawings in. But at the moment, it's one big block. These are all the parts. So what we're going to do is select them all. So we highlight the whole lot. You see I drew a box around it. Okay, we got the whole lot. And now I'm going to click the Nest button, which is over here. And the Offset and Layout Nest. And this should nest it all onto sheets for me. Alright, so we got to put in our tool diameter, which is 8. I'm going to use a clearance of 2mm, so in between each one. A border gap around the outside of the board. I don't want to start in anywhere nearer the edge than 5mm. I could change that to 10mm. In fact, I will. I'm going to change that to 10mm. So that's going to be, so we make sure we cut off the rubbish off the edge of the board. We don't want to rotate the parts because it's a cabinet, and we could be using a grain material like an oak MDF or something. We want the grain to be running long ways in the parts. We're not going to allow rotate. We're not going to allow mirror or allow parts on the other side of the parts. We're going to be going from the bottom left in an S direction along X, which is left to right. We're going to have one copy, and what we're going to do is just use preview, use the active sheets, and we're going to preview it. And this should be where it's going to throw everything out onto sheets for us. There we go. We have 11 sheets. It's actually 10 sheets because the first sheet is blank. But that's okay. That looks good to me. We've got all our parts imported. So we press OK. So that actually gives us everything, and it shows us the sheets. And if we look at our layers list here, this gives us all the different layers that have cut out of polyboard. Okay, anything in here with a little squiggle in it has got data on it. So every one of those down there has got data, but layer 1 and 0 don't have data, so we can actually turn those off. We don't need those. Alright, but we could actually delete those layers, there's nothing on them. But we'll leave it at that for the moment. Okay, so now what we can do, if we want to automatically toolpath this, which is something I'm going to show you how to set up in a different job, or even show you on your training. It's quite a complex little setup to do, but what we can do is import a toolpath template. So I'm going to use this one here, load toolpath template. This is to bring in one I've already made up, which will work for this job. Okay, and I am going to use Mercury import toolpath template. Okay, and do I want to apply it to all sheets? So if I say no, it'll only apply it to this sheet. If I apply it to all sheets, it'll apply the whole template to everything. And you'll see on the right hand side now, it'll start creating the sheets and going through the toolpath to see what which part of the toolpaths are actually active on each sheet. Alright, so we've got lots of different layers. Each one of these toolpaths is associated to a layer, and it's just checking each sheet for what's actually active. And if I zoom in, you'll probably see it highlight on the, there you are. I can't actually zoom in now, but you'll see bits of it going pink as it's going. As it finds them, you can see little bits going pink if the recording comes out clear enough. Excuse me. So we wait for it to do this, and then we'll pick a sheet and preview it, and you'll be able to see that everything's been automatically toolpathed and how quick it is for the whole lot. So this takes about, on this program, about 30 seconds. The new version, version 12, seems to take ages. So that's why I'm demoing in 11.5. So just let this crack on. Let's just finish sheet 8. Now doing sheet 9. Sheet 10. Oh, sheet 10 looks like a good one to demo. That's the one we'll select in a second. Okay, so it's calculated all our sheets, and let's go to sheet 10. So if we go drawing, modeling, clip art, there's and sheets, here's sheets here. Alright, so if we select 10, and it should flick to sheet 10. Alright, so that's how we get to sheet 10. And now what we can do is actually preview what is on there. So we press the preview button, and it'll bring up the 3D space for us. I'm actually going to put it at a slight angle. Alright, so I press the X, Y, Z button there, which puts in ISO, which gives you a better view of what it's going to do. And I'm going to turn the speed down a little bit, otherwise it'll do it instantly. I'm not going to draw the tool. I'm just going to animate the preview. And preview visible toolpaths. Okay, let's have a look. Sheet 10, there we go. And let's just turn those off. And preview all toolpaths. Although, and this is sheet 10, so we can see loads of drill holes gone in, loads of cabineos gone in. Right, cabinet recesses, and then it'll finally do the cutouts. It's doing some pockets for the backs, and now it's doing the cutouts. Now I haven't selected the cut order properly, but the way I've done that there, most of that will come out alright. The cut order needs to be changed actually. I will change that in the template. It should really be from the top right downwards, just so everything is given the maximum vacuum. But as you can see, we've just brought in a massive job. This is a wardrobe job of 10 sheets, automatically toolpathed it, and if I delete the waste, you'll see the parts. Okay, so that's the parts that we actually got on that sheet ready to cut. You can see the cabineos. Alright, so cabineos recessed, drill holes, base holes, etc. Everything's in there. We've got some rebates. Let's have a look. Let me just move that across with the control button. We have rebates. Anyway, that's how you do it. And then all you have to do is click sheet 10. Let's have a look. Turn the toolpaths off a second for everything else. Okay, so I click that button twice, turns all the toolpaths off. If I click sheet 10, I can now save the toolpaths for sheet 10 and save it straight to our machine. Okay, so here comes the code, sheet 10 new, okay, and save. So now we could go into our main control program. We can load the file. I've got it just minimized at the moment. We can load sheet 10. Type in sheet 10 new and open. And there's our job. So what you see on the left hand side is what we're going to cut on here. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching.